There we go. Welcome, everybody. We will get started in about 10 minutes. We have 10 minutes, so if you want to take a quick washroom break, water break, snack break, please do so, and we will get started right at 12:30. Thank you. Hey, everybody. I hope you're all enjoying the event over the last few days. I hope everything's going well. I don't know if any of yous were in my in the YSO job search workshop, but we got 5 minutes in and the whole system crashed for us. But if you were in there, we definitely have sent out emails that we are going to offer the summer job search workshop on Tuesday. So hopefully you'll be able to join us then. Hey, everybody, we'll get started in about 4 minutes. Welcome to Brock University. And sorry, my camera is not working. So you can't see my lovely face, my lovely smiley face. Haha. Pardon?
Can you see mine?
Yes, I can see your face.
Okay.
Welcome.
Thank you. Hi, everybody.
So we have about 10 people in the room. So we'll get started. What time is it? According to mine, oh, it's actually 12:30 right now. Sorry. All right, so we can probably go ahead. So welcome, Mac, sorry.
No problem. Yeah, thank you so
Welcome
much.
from Brock University, and the floor is now yours.
Awesome. Mac, turn your volume up. Can everybody hear me okay? Is that good, Sherry? I'll just pretend to talk for a bit. Yeah?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so thanks so much, Deborah. Hi, everybody. My name is Mac Orlando. I work for Brock University in Aboriginal Student Services, and I am the Aboriginal Support Assistant slash Student Advisor. So I'm kind of the face that if you were coming to Brock and coming to the Aboriginal Student Lounge, then you'd see my face there, and I would be the person to help you out with picking your courses or navigating the system, or just as a person to chat with. So I live in Hamilton right now. Brock University, as many of you may know, is in St. Catharines. And my background is Mohawk and Italian, and my family descends from 6 nations. So a little bit quickly about myself. I'm a teacher. I'm a primary junior teacher, and I'm a master's of education student. Not with Brock, but don't tell them that. I've lived up in Thunder Bay for the last 6 years and just moved down to Southern Ontario to be back near home and near my family. And yeah, so it's really nice to get to know another university. And I've been working at Brock for about 3 or 4 months, so I'm still new to the school, but I'm really enjoying it. Although I've only been to the campus once. I'm really enjoying just getting to know people even through something like this, and getting to know about why Brock is pretty awesome, and especially for Indigenous students and the stuff that we do as a service to support students and take the load off, and that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna just start by sharing a little video. Um, I like to break up these things rather than seeing my face and just having to watch me for 30 minutes. I like to bring in some different voices. So just like if you were at the university, you'd be seeing people from in your classes, you'd be seeing people in the support services and admin, you'd be seeing some profs, some elders. So I like to bring in those voices just so that you can get a taste of the different people and their experiences through Brock. So we did try sharing screen and video, so that's always a fun thing, but I'm going to do that right now. Just give me 1 second. All right. So here we go.
I chose to come to Brock for several reasons. reason. So because I have a twin brother, coming to university was starting to get really expensive for my family, but because of Brock's generous scholarships, this was no longer a problem.
I chose Brock because of the new arts campus downtown St. Catharines, as well as I was able to do both of my passions, which is theater and teaching, all at the same time.
Brock was close enough to home that I could go to school and have.
Sorry, I'm seeing that the video isn't quite working. Is that the same on your end, Deborah? I have audio, but the video.
Yeah, I just see the nice sunrise or sunset.
It's a really beautiful campus. So I might, 1 sec. Let me just try and relaunch that.
Okay.
Give that another shot.
I chose to come to Brock for several reasons. So because I have a twin brother, coming to university was starting to get really expensive for my family, but because of Brock's generous scholarships, this was no longer a problem.
I chose Brock because of the new arts campus downtown St. Catharines, as well as I was able to do both of my passions, which is theater and teaching, all at the same time.
Brock was close enough to home that I could go to school and have some distance from my family, but still be able to go home when I could while still getting a really awesome education.
Being from Kingston, Ontario, I've seen many different schools where the school is spread around the whole downtown core. And I really enjoyed that Brock was all on one site. I can get from one side of the campus to the other very easily, whether it's inside or outside on a nice day.
I know when I was starting to apply for universities, the transition from a high school to a university campus seemed quite intimidating. But coming here, I truly felt welcomed, not only by the students that go here, but by the environment as a whole. I love the nature around it. The Bruce Trail runs through our campus, which is something that I hold close to my heart because I do love to run.
I'd have to say my favorite moment here at Brock would have to be the day before my statistics exam in second year when I was completely lost and freaking out, a whole mess about going to fail this exam the next day. And I went to go speak to my professor, who then took an hour to sit down and go over the entire unit with me. It was just really inspiring to see how much the professors here really wanted you to succeed above all else.
My advice to incoming students would be to definitely utilize the services that we offer here on campus, specifically A to Z Learning has really helped me. I took their APA and MLA citation class, and that was something that really allowed me to have a lot of confidence in terms of submitting my assignments. Something else that I would really recommend you guys use would be our Student Success Center. They have drop-in hours for students to be able to get help from upper year students in regards to either submitting labs or working on your papers.
I really like that Brock University is a true reflection of the Niagara region. It is a small, tight-knit community, and it feels like a big high school to me because I get to walk down the halls and say hi to people. So people I actually went to high school with, all the way to my academic advisors, my professors, my bosses, as well as my colleagues and my classmates.
My favorite moment at Brock would definitely be meeting everyone in residence right at the very first week. I came to Brock University not knowing too many people, so being in residence with a whole new group of people was great to learn everyone's story and learn where they come from and what they were here for.
Another thing we have is tons of events and speakers that come onto campus that you can see for free. One of my favorite memories here at Brock is I got to see Tarana Burke, who was the creator of the Me Too movement. I got to meet her afterwards, and it's just something that I never would have gotten otherwise if I wasn't a student. Brock kind of prepares you for the real world and helps you become an adult, and it's a very safe and fun environment to kind of figure yourself out.
One of my favorite memories that I've had here at Brock was actually this year. It was our competition in Florida. We competed in cheerleading for the all-girl premier World University Cheerleading Championships, and we actually placed first. It was super nice to have that experience, not only to experience it as a Brock athlete, but to be able to experience that with the teammates and my friends who I've made throughout the team as well.
So in my third year, I was the business manager for the Brock men's hockey team. I worked with the partnership manager in athletics at the time, and we worked on sponsorship relationships such as Cliff Bar to bring their product to campus and to give the product to our players before games.
An experiential education learning opportunity that I participated in would be the directing course within the Department of Dramatic Arts. In first semester, you kind of learn about all of the practices and theories from the professor of that course. And then in second semester, you actually get to direct your own show. So this year there's 6 of us who are working simultaneously to put on our own small festival to showcase our work. So it's a great opportunity of learning both practices and then becoming your own director as well.
One of the opportunities that I'm really looking forward to taking part in is the student athletic therapy positions that we have available at Brock, where students that are in physical education and kinesiology can actually go and be trained as a student athletic therapist and then work with varsity teams at their practices and all of their games, taking care of all injuries, illnesses, and any issues that might require some medical attention. It's really interesting that you get that opportunity to work with varsity students and build the concepts that you learn in class in a more practical way.
These are just some of the experiences that we have to offer here at Brock. All these experiences and more await you.
I hope to see you on campus this September.
See you soon.
Can't wait to see you in September. Go Badgers.
Okay, so hopefully that came through okay for everybody. And if there was any delays or audio or anything like that, we have that video on our website. It's just and it goes through YouTube as well. So it's called Why Did We Choose Brock? So if you want to refer back to that or anything like that, then that's the space to go to. So the students in there covered a lot of different experiences, the reasons why they chose Brock. And there's another link. If you type in choose Brock in your Google search bar, then you'd be able to see a couple more reasons. There's another video. There's endless videos that you can watch about all these different universities, but I'm kind of picking and choosing which ones to share here today. There's kind of the top 5 reasons of why to choose Brock. Number 1, the student experience for Brock was ranked as number 2 overall for all of Canada in terms of student satisfaction. So the academic support, the mental health supports, the student advising support is all something that ranked really high, and especially the mental health. It ranked at number 1 for the Maclean's magazine. So those kinds of things, especially when students are, especially during an online learning experience like we are going through this year, your mental health is like your number 1 concern, because that is the piece that is driving you. It needs to be there and in the best form that it can be. And sometimes we need a little bit of help with that, right? So there's the university mental health supports, and then there's also the support that we have through the Aboriginal Student Services. I'm going to talk a little bit about that, our services and what we offer as well. I just see a question in the chat. What are the supports for special needs students? So we have student accessibility is the department at Brock that any student with special needs would work one-on-one with a case manager, and there'd be an intake process, and basically they would go through the supports that you would need as a student, and that person would be your number 1 contact as you move through your experience at Brock. So you'd have a person advocating for you and ensuring that as you go to your classes, that those accommodations are being met, which is super, super important. So that was a great question, Sherry. Thank you. So there's number 2. Brock also has a ton of outside of the classroom experiences. On their website, it talks about how there's 20 different types of opportunities, whether it be co-op, placements, experiential learning, and creative learning opportunities like that. I can't remember his name, but like the person who was was in the theater program was talking about, they were able to put on their own festival, and that like hands-on experience is super important when you're going through university, to put the knowledge and things that you're learning into practice. Additionally, Brock has over $4 million to give away in terms of bursaries, scholarships, and assistance. So aside from OSAP, there's also other ways that you can fund your education. Like as well, there's band funding too for Indigenous students that like we gotta have access to depending on your status or non-status, and that's another thing that we at Aboriginal Student Services help out with, because sometimes funding can be a tough thing to figure out and navigate. So we're here as well as a support for Indigenous students to navigate funding. So speaking of Aboriginal services, I wanted to kind of cover a little bit about what we do at Aboriginal Student Services. So we're in, and this is new information that I learned. I have a question. So before I move into that, I'll just answer that question. How do you sign up for the chance of getting a bursary? So the nice thing about Brock is that they have it's called One App. It's one application that you do as a student entering into your new year of like at Brock. So you do one single application and it puts you in the pot for applying to all these different bursaries and scholarships. So it's a pretty comprehensive application. It takes a little bit, but it's much better than doing, one here, one there, one everywhere. And it depends on the kind of bursary and scholarship, but they get put out through the year. So some of them are at the beginning of the year. The one that's through Aboriginal Student Services is a bursary, so it's based on financial need. And we just did that in January. So, sometimes it's nice to get that money all up front, but also sometimes when you get into that second semester and you're like, ooh, like, Christmas was really, was a big hit on my bank account or something. So it's nice to get that bursary that's based on financial need. No problem. Hope, you would be applying to the One App in August. So after August 15th, the One App opens. So then you would be able to apply to that and then be put in the pool, and you would hear from different departments or different areas throughout the year. So I just got to go to the university for the first time this past week. I needed to pick up some things, and I got to see Brock for the first time. And it was really nice because I have been hearing so much about it, and to be able to put kind of a face to the name and the stories. So I was able to go and see the lounge that we have for Aboriginal students. So it's a really nice lounge, very bright, and it's kind of right in the main area. We're not like in the basement or pushed off to the side. We're right in the main area, right by the cafeteria. So it's like awesome access to grabbing a snack. And then we have our offices in the back that have like me and Sandra, who's the director, and Cindy, all these really friendly faces that we don't just sit in our offices. We come out and, talk with students and put on gatherings. So we have luncheons twice a month where we feed you guys, and there's lots of good foods and snacks that we try to supply, as well as so one of the processes that you might do through high school or going through elementary school too is self-identifying. So when you self-identify as an Indigenous student at Brock, you gain access to a whole bunch of different services, and one of those is free tutoring. So as an Indigenous student at Brock, you have free tutoring for whatever class you'd like. You would just come and talk to me, and then we would kind of get you set up in the system and matched with a tutor who's qualified in tutoring in your course, whatever course that may be. So that's a huge plus to have one-on-one tutoring for free. And it's usually like 25 bucks an hour or something for any student. So that's a big positive. I wish that I had that going through university. So that's one of the great things about Aboriginal Student Services. We also have elders, called our visiting elders, and we have 4. So 2 of them, Ida and Melba, are from Six Nations. We have Peter Bocage, who's from Anishinaabe from Nipissing First Nation. And we also have David. His last name is escaping me right now, but he's actually up in Nunavut. So he's Inuit. All those 4 elders are available for students to talk with. And we've tried to adapt to the virtual space as well as time has gone on. So we have tried to have a virtual lounge open as well, where the elders come in to a Zoom meeting, like where everybody can see each other's faces. Not quite like this, but one where everybody can see each other, and you could talk with an elder, or you can book a personal time with them to work through whatever you need to work through. So we have that, academic support. We've got the emotional and spiritual support from the elders, and that physical support of the virtual, the actual in-person lounge or the virtual lounge, since we're doing a lot of stuff online these days. I have a video from one of our elders. It's really quick, but his name is Peter, and he just does a quick intro. So I'm gonna change it up. You can listen to somebody else talk for a bit. So here's Peter.
Hello, my name is Peter Bocage. They call me Abidas Mossad, Indigenous cause, and I'm most of them. Nisho Meden Deao, Chimigwech, and the Kit. I come from Nipissing First Nation. I introduced myself in my Anishinaabe language. Abidas Mossad is my native name, Anishinaabe name we call it, and I'm second degree in Anishinaabe traditions, and I'm Anishinaabe, originate from Nipissing First Nation. And I've lived here all my life. And I'm now retired and enjoying enjoying my life now today. I'm happy to be working with Brock University Indigenous programs, and that's it. Thank you.
Short and sweet, but just to kind of put a face to the name. And yeah, we have 4 different elders who have been awesome for adapting to the Zoom environment too. So that's a really big positive. I'm going to...
There was a question from one of the youth. Are there any programs with 3D design or CGI?
3D design or CGI? That is a great question. I don't know for sure. I am still getting used to all of the different programs at Brock. Like I said, I'm the academic support person, so whenever I get a question that I don't know, I do a quick Google. So it was 3D design or CGI. I believe there is. I think I remember when I was looking through the view. So actually, this is a great time to bring up the view book. So if, I guess I could share my screen too. So Brock view book. So because we're not in person, we don't have as many opportunities to walk through the view book that has all of our different programs in it. But I am going to show you what we've developed for online resources. So I'm going to switch back to sharing screen. All right, so to get here, I just typed in Brock Viewbook. It's discover.brocku.ca/brockbook. And down here is view our online Brock Flipbook. My computer is running a little slow because it's got a lot of views loaded up. But in this space, you'd be able to find a lot of the information that I'm talking about here today. So it is as close to what the actual physical viewbook would look like. So you've got a message from the president, some discussion about student life, and a little bit about Niagara. And a little later on, I'm just going to skip forward. So in this, about midway through the book, they have a whole bunch of different, the actual descriptions of the different programs and what's offered. So for example, in the education section, we have an Aboriginal education program. We have a concurrent teacher education program for primary, junior intermediate, or intermediate senior. And I'm not sure. Oh, I see a VR piece here. So, game program. Let's see here. Oh.
And while you're flipping through the pages, does Brock have a food bank?
It's another great question. I don't know if we have a designated food bank. That's one that I might have to get back to somebody on. But at Aboriginal Student Services, we have lots of like snacks and stuff that, and we try to have an allotment of different canned goods too that students would be able to take home. In terms of an actual food bank, I don't know for sure, but if I can also get back to whoever is asking that question as well. I'll have to look into this a little bit more as well. But for the student who asked that question about 3D design or CGI, Nolan, if I can look up that question a little bit more in depth and get back to you, or you can peruse through that view book as well. I think I saw a section on video game design, but it was a little bit small. And I just wanted to also bring up the Aboriginal Student Services page. So no problem, Cassie. So one more screen share. So if you ever want to learn a little bit more about Aboriginal Student Services and also the other services at Brock, this is our page, and we have those different kinds of services we have available. I probably forgot some. So yes, we got tutoring, our academic supports, as well as so we also have our desktop computers available in the lounge. So there's a whole bunch of computers that you can log on to while you're at the university. We also have a laptop lending program, an Aboriginal media library, so a full library that has a bunch of different books and DVDs and journals that are either about Aboriginal content or by Aboriginal authors. As a student, as a self-identified student, you'll also get a printing card too for $10 worth of printing, because you do have to pay for printing at the university. We have a phone with long distance available if you want to contact any family members. And we also have a designated smudging area that's connected to the lounge, right beside the lounge. So you'd be able, if you needed to smudge at any point, that space is available for you as well. And also on this page, I want to bring your attention to this FAQ for Indigenous students section. So when I first got into Brock, I wanted to learn as much as I could. So I whipped up this FAQ about all the different kinds of questions that you might come up to when you're first attending Brock or even as a student. So there's stuff about applying to Brock, as well as course registration, and just a lot of centralized information so that, it's a big new experience coming to university, and to have something to refer to, or, after you talk to me, then, trying to remember something, then you could use the FAQ to answer some of the questions that you still had or needed some reminding of. So there's information about scholarships and bursaries, about funding and financial assistance, how to find your course marks, some information about accommodations, which I know is a question as well earlier. So that information about student accessibility services. And also a section that brings you to the important dates that we have here at Brock.
We also have one more question.
Yeah.
Do you know if Brock offers any nuclear medicine, nuclear imaging programs?
Nuclear. Very, very good program questions in from everyone today. Well, I don't know for sure. I can look through the view book, but maybe if the two students who had those questions about the specific programs want to just hang around for a couple of minutes, I can look through. But I just wanted to that's kind of my presentation about Brock for today. So is there any other questions about what kind of services or anything about Brock that I talked about today, before I kind of deep dive into the view book?
I am just finding out what the key word is. Let me just look it up and I will share it. Keyword. So do you have any pictures of the lounge area that you can possibly share?
On my phone. That's so great. Yeah, hold on, how could I do this? Give me 1 second. I actually took a video.
Okay.
That's a great
The key word is champions. Champions of change. Woohoo! I wish I had my camera on. Oh. All right, so if there are no other questions, anything else you would like to share, Matt?
No, I will, I'll hang around here for a bit. I know there's a whole nother set of places, but no, I just want to thank everybody so much for the time. And if you have any questions, I'll type my email into the chat as well. Feel free to contact me and I can help out with any other questions. So I just threw my email into the chat. We can have a more one-on-one conversation, and through email or through Zoom, anything like that, whatever you're comfortable with, or on the phone. That all works for me. So I just want to say thank you so much to you, Deborah, for hosting, to NEPAM, and to everybody who's here today watching. I really appreciate your time. And if Brock is the right fit for you, then let me know, and we can figure out how to make that happen. So.
All right. Well, thank you, Mac from Brock University, and everyone. You have a few minutes before the next workshop starts. So the next one starts at 1:10. So we'll see you in the next one. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Oh, well, you did really good, Mac. Fantastic.
Cheers.
You know, for being on for 3 months, you did fantastic.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's nice to, I did take a video of the lounge because I wanted to show my, my girlfriend, but I can't find it right now.
Oh, okay.
And I'm looking in Google Photos. So, but I'm gonna just look in if those, I just want to see if those students who asked these specific questions about nuclear something.
Yeah. Let's see, it is nuclear medicine, molecular imaging, or unless that was meant to say nuclear imaging.
Oh man. This is so small. Biomedical, biophysics, biotechnology.
I believe that's in a program. Wouldn't it be offered at McMaster?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Neuroscience. Oh, game programming. If the person who's still in who was asking about, I think it was Nolan, was asking about CGI, there's a Bachelor of Science in Game Programming as well as an advanced diploma in game development.
Is that what that is?
Well, I guess 3D printing and CG. Oh no, I guess that would be more like animation.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I actually know the two youth that were asking the questions, Nolan and I always mess up her name, and she's actually on right now. Tanea. Yeah, Tanea. She asked about the nuclear medicine. So if you do find anything, you can forward it to me and I can ensure that Tanea and Nolan get the information.
Okay.
I do have to end this session so I can jump into the next room to let them in.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
It was nice meeting you.
Yeah, it was really nice meeting you. I'll look into those questions, and I have your email somewhere, so I'll shoot that over to you.
Actually, I'll put my email in the thing right now.
Awesome. Well, good luck with the rest of the day,
Yes.
and the next session. And thank you so much. You're awesome.
All right. Thank you. Take care.
Okay, see ya.
See ya.
Bye.